Welcome back, everybody, to the CHG Gaming Podcast. My name is RJ, and that's David. He's bobbing his head, just bobbing up and down.
I've been listening to a lot of anime opening theme songs.
Oh, yeah?
And there's some bops. There's a lot of bops.
Oh, yeah. Good old anime OSTs, or whatever you want to call them. So real quick, this is going to be we're going to get right into it. So
talking about Xbox.
So this past Sunday on the 12th, June 12th, was Xbox/Bethesda/ maybe later Activision Blizzard's game showcase for this year, in lieu of a traditional
everything else that they own.
Yeah, just a Xbox owns the world showcase.
It was half the industry's showcase,
pretty much. Yeah. And so they had the showcase in lieu of a traditional E3 presentation, and they did this kind of same thing they did last year, where they kind of just went straight to the games, came in every once in a while, had someone talk about something. But yeah, that was about. I think they stopped it 3 or 4 times to let someone talk, because I watched the whole thing on Sunday. Well, I rewatched it because it was at 10 a.m. in the morning. Like, what the fuck, Xbox? Come on.
Yeah.
And that's 10 a.m. for me. If for you, it would have been noon, so maybe a little bit easier. But like, nah, son, I am not. Those days are over. When I was in high school, I could do that. I could wake up at 9:30 a.m. for the conference, whatever. But not now. No, I don't care anymore. I'll just rewatch it on YouTube, which is what I did. And so
we're gonna church like a good Christian boy.
Yes, like he was churching. He was churching it up with good old JC, getting the Holy Spirit in him. Shout out to you, JC. But yeah, anyways, but real quick, really fast, Capcom had their showcase today, June 13th. It was only a half hour long. I was going to mention 2 things. So one, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, big expansion coming at the end of the month. They showed off a little bit of it. People who have a Switch and who play Monster Hunter, be pumped. It seems like it's going to be a big deal. And not only that, they announced like 3 other title updates where they're giving out free monsters in there as well. And so, yeah, keeping you guys busy. So that was the first thing. The second thing is Resident Evil. A lot of shit with Resident Evil franchise. So first things first, 2, 3, and 7 are now
they got 2 or 3 IPs. So just knock the shit out of them.
Oh, damn, son. But yeah, so Resident Evil 2, 3 remakes and 7 are getting native next gen ports, or I guess current gen ports. Today they're out today apparently. Ooh. And so someone had noticed and put out like it was already showing on the Xbox store today. So people were like, announcement coming, and which it did. And so 2, 3, 7 are available, next gen, current gen ports. I don't know if they're gonna have their own native like achievement trophy list. Normally what happens if they get a native version, they get a new list, but I didn't see any when I checked. But regardless, if you wanted to play it with higher resolutions and shit, you can, or if you haven't played it yet, and you want to play on the latest version, you can. Resident Evil 8 they finally announced the DLC for Resident Evil 8 that they've been talking about for a year now. And it's going to focus on Rose, the daughter of the main dude from Ethan. But I thought it was going to be a new game, and there still might be, but it's going to start with a DLC with a mainline game.
Last of Us,
Left Behind situation. Yeah.
Left Behind or the
something
Uncharted
like that. Yeah. Girls Night Out.
I can't remember.
Uncharted Girls Night Out.
It was super good, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's probably more aligned with Lost Legacy, or maybe the Iki expansion from Ghost of Tsushima, because it looks like it's going to be a big. It's not just because Left Behind was only like 2 hours. This seems to be a bit bigger than that, and so big deal. But not only that, they added some new concept for Mercenaries Mode. So if you're a fan of Mercenaries Mode, you can play now as Chris Heisenberg, I think his name is, and Dimitrescu, Lady Dimitrescu. And you can 9 feet tall and everything, man. Your perspective, you literally are looking down. It's hilarious. But yeah, you can play as all. That's it. Just looking at your breasts for the whole time. But yeah, you can play as all 3 of them now.
In-world interactions of some kind. I don't know what they'd be.
But you can play as all 3 of them in the Mercenaries mode when that drops. And lastly, you can play the whole campaign, Resident Evil 8 that is, in third-person mode. So just like the traditional Resident Evil games. So you can do 8 in third person. Now I'm wondering if they'll go back and do 7 in third person. But yeah, and they redid the whole game. It's like it's not just a bullshit just little thing. It's like all the camera angles and camera shots have changed.
You gotta think then like so there are games out there that are first person that they actually like did the whole models in like have 3D models, so they could do like reflections and stuff. But then just the camera was placed inside, so that my guess is that's what they did too. And then maybe they touched up some other stuff on it.
Maybe we can finally see Ethan's face. Maybe we'll be able to see Ethan's face. I'm actually that kind of pumps me up. I think I don't know. I feel like a game like Resident Evil just allows you to be able to take in your environments a little bit better. In my opinion.
And you're a third person shooter guy, so.
And I am. I've always been a third person guy. But anyways, and then Resident Evil 4 they showed extended gameplay on that. It comes out next March. At least for now, that's the date for now, next March. And but anyway, so that was it. I just want to cover those two things with Capcom showcase because we're not going to talk about probably any other showcases going on this summer. But yeah, we're going right into Xbox. But anyway, so Xbox had their showcase. It was an hour and a half long, and in my opinion, I feel like at least the way they did it, they killed it. And I love this new. I think they kind of borrowed it from Sony when they did it, like in 2017ish, when they kind of just showed shit. And they came in like every once in a while, and then that was it. I think that's the preferred style of that's what we want.
Yeah, we just want to see shit. We don't want to hear people talking about it.
We don't. I don't need you to tell me all these 1,000 gameplay shit. Like it's a highlight reel. That's what E3 or whatever that these things are for. It's for a highlight reel to show me what you're doing. I don't need you to go and show me 10, 15 minutes of a game that's not even one of your biggest games for no reason at all. Like it's like
we don't need to see
I don't need it. Yeah, I don't need a presentation of Just Dance. That we know you do every year, Ubisoft. Looking at you, Ubisoft. We don't need that. So yeah, I love it. I hope this is what happens going forward, and it seems to be. Capcom did the same thing. Something similar. They had a few too many people talking, but it's probably because, like you said, they only had 2 or 3 APs to go over.
And they weren't talking about Street Fighter, so they only had 2 things.
They did mention Street Fighter. They did. They mentioned it. I just didn't want to cover because there's nothing big they talked about. Anyways, so we're going to go on the list that I wrote them all down. I kind of wrote them down from how they were presented. And most of them are going to be rapid fire, but some of them will stop and actually talk at length.
I'm going to say hype or not hype.
Well, okay, so the first one, so you started off with Redfall, which that was the vampire game you brought up the other day. And I have some thoughts on that now. So I saw more, they gave it more gameplay of it this time. Like, I haven't really seen actual gameplay. So it'd be on like cinematic trailers. And we talked at length, if you guys remember, we talked a while ago, some few podcasts ago, about Valve kind of perfecting that Left 4 Dead co-op zombie, formula, and how like when Back 4 Blood came out, it was okay, but it kind of flopped, right? I think, and remember we talked about like maybe no one needs to do that again. No one needs to try and do that again. I think this maybe it gives me hope that it might be what we were talking about, how like it's a whole other spin on it. Like, because now we're focusing on vampires, we're focusing on like they have different mechanics. Yeah, that 4-player co-op is still there. But it kind of also feels like Borderlands on top of
what people have said, have compared it more to is Borderlands, because it's an open world RPG, so it's going to have missions and character trees and stuff like that. So
I think this might be the closest thing we'll get to something that kind of is like Left 4 Dead, but they're not trying to be Left 4 Dead. You know what I mean? Like, because I think that's what Back 4 Blood was kind of fell. Like, it was trying to be Left 4 Dead, like Dead Nation or Dead Island. Those were trying to be like Left 4 Dead, and I think just there was no point. Left 4 Dead, you can't be Left 4 Dead. Like, I'm sorry, you just can't. Valve killed it, and so I think this might be the answer for that. Like something actually fresh on a Left 4 Dead spin. Also, one thing to notice about everything that was shown at their showcase will be playable within the next year. They didn't show a damn thing that was going to have like a 2024 release date or something like that.
As of now.
None of that. Well, okay, yes. As of now, I'm sure half these will get delayed. But like for now, nothing. I think the latest they showed was like holiday next year, I think. Was like Starfield, the latest they went. That was like the latest. So I guess technically not 12 months, more like 15. But like still, there was no ridiculous release date. So they're not announcing anything too early. which we've already agreed and talked about. Like that's probably best.
I mean, they got enough studios that they shouldn't be needing any filler.
Oh, and I'm gonna prove that with all this shit we're gonna talk about. So after Redfall, they went into Hollow Knight. They just kind of showed you once again. Silk Song's coming out. A lot of people
not
are gonna
hype, but not hype.
It's not our hype. I think that's the better way to put it. It's not our hype.
Yeah,
because a lot of people have been waiting for this. A lot of people.
Hollow Knight was super. It wasn't for me.
Was Hollow Knight an Xbox exclusive? It's not, right?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, here's the thing. Like they showed a lot of shit.
It might be now. Who the fuck knows? It might be now. I don't know.
You can't even keep track of Hollow Knight. You can't keep track of all these exclusives.
So here's the thing. With Xbox buying everything, who knows? It might be an Xbox exclusive.
You can't keep track of all these purchases, man. It's like, oh god, you got to.
It was on Game Pass. So like
that doesn't mean anything. So was Red Dead Redemption. Who knows? But anyways, here's the thing: because a lot of stuff that they showed, they had like a game console launch exclusive or some exclusive, but like that doesn't. It was kind of confusing to figure out like what is actually hard stop, full stop, Xbox exclusive, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and what was just like timed or whatever. Like that was kind of confusing. So I don't even know half of these are exclusive or not. But fuck it, we're just gonna go along with it. But Hollow Knight was shown. This new game was shown called High on Life, and it seemed I thought it was good.
Yes.
I thought it was some kind of like Outer Worlds Fallout type of thing. But
so
what
I
saw though, what I thought was really cool was that you did too, is that every gun has an alien attached to it that talks to you, which I was like, that's pulled from Cyberpunk. That's pulled straight from Cyberpunk with the talking gun.
So do you know who the designer of like the store in the world is?
Store in the what?
Story in the world, like
you mean the devs?
Not really the dev. Well, kind of the devs. Do you know who the devs are?
I didn't catch that. I did not see that.
So they're the same guys that have made it was the VR kind of weird where like he had like faces in his eyes kind of thing. I can't remember the name of it, but basically it's from the people who made Rick and Morty.
Oh yes, Rick and Morty. Yes, that's what I remember now. Now I remember. Yes.
So it is basically a first person RPG with Rick and Morty in a world similar to Rick and Morty. Like it could be another universe in Rick and Morty.
Which one's the kid? Which one's the kid? I've never seen the show.
Morty.
I swear one of the guns sounded like him because I've heard his voice.
Probably
I swear I heard his voice.
The designer, the creator, does a lot of the voices for the show. So if he's involved, he probably is doing some of the voices for this as well.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so it is. I'm hyped about it because it's an RPG shooter, which I love. And if it's the humor of Rick and Morty, I'm down.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was something similar to like Outer Worlds, which that's never a bad thing because that was a great game. So yeah, so I mean, well, I hope that does well. I hope it doesn't just like have a strong start and then just fizzles. I hope it at least stays somewhat consistent for a while. So yeah, that was shown. New game there. Again, no idea if it's exclusive or not. Who knows? It could be. And then they announced that Riot Games are coming to Game Pass. So if you want to get your League of Legends fix or whatever the fuck they do, because I don't know.
The card ones, I think they have card ones.
Is that Hearthstone is them? Okay, I thought that was Blizzard. No, Hearthstone's Blizzard.
Hearthstone is Blizzard, but I think that Riot also has a card game.
All right, whatever. But LOL, if you want to get your League of Legends fix, but you don't have a PC like me or like you can play on Xbox now if you have an Xbox. So have fun. But yeah, I mean, for some people that's a big deal. You know, getting those games on consoles kind of can be very interesting.
Is it going to be on console or is it just going to come to PC?
Oh, wait, you're right. That's a good distinction. Okay, they said specifically Game Pass, and I guess I just assumed that meant Xbox, because I keep forgetting that PC has its own Game Pass. Yeah. Yes, that makes more sense. Yeah, because I was like, that'd be so weird. Yeah, it'd be so weird to play.
I mean, again, game. You can use a keyboard, which is why I want PC games on the Xbox, but it's probably just on PC.
Also, do you want to deal with that toxicity?
No, I tried it one time, and I
really want? I heard it's one of the hardest games as a newcomer to get into. I heard it's one of the worst. Anyways, so that was shown off, and then a personal favorite of mine, Playtel Requiem, was shown. I think that's an exclusive, though. I think they bought the studio behind that game. But that was shown more in depth, and I think it looks fantastic. I still have yet to play the original, which I definitely want to because I am a sucker for sibling stories. That's just one of my heartstrings. It just pulls at me every time.
Have you played Two Brothers?
Yes, I have. I actually bought first of all, it's Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Whatever.
But I played it on PS3 because it was free through PS Plus years ago. Absolutely fucking loved it. And then I bought the PS4 physical release when I saw that at GameStop when I worked at GameStop. So I played it in 2 different systems. I own the PS4 version. I will never get rid of that game.
Very good.
Yes, love it. It's like it almost made me cry. Like I got really close to crying at the end. It's especially if you are a sucker for sibling stuff like myself. Like it's just it gets you. So yeah, I'm sure this will be fantastic. I think the first one was a bit of a sleeper hit. So I hope this one gets a lot more recognition when it does launch. So that was shown, and then they showed Forza 8 because, of course, they were going to. So Forza Motorsport. Well, here's the thing. They wouldn't call it Forza 8. They kept calling it the next Forza Motorsport. So I don't know what they're doing, what the plan is. I think it's 8. I think 8 is
it
next.
Looks great.
I don't think it's either 7 or 8. I don't keep track, but they would not say the numbers.
Numbers don't mean shit. Like it's a Forza's Motorsport, not a what's the other
Horizon.
Horizon. So it's going to be more complex, more detailed, more more
sim.
sliders, more sim. But it looks gorgeous.
Of course it does. It's Forza. Come on, man. I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? However, I'm worried.
I hope still looks weird, but
I hope
get that better.
That because something we talked about before with you owning a Series X is that with Xbox still kind of holding the stance of like every game they launch comes out for both systems besides Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Because
because it would just blow your system up if you tried. I hope that
can you imagine that to be like, I mean, it's on the Xbox One. If you start it, it will catch on fire. But technically, it's on.
Like a fucking hoverboard or those old Samsung phones. It'll just catch fire.
It's just like, they're not lying.
especially if you have like an OG Xbox One. Oh man, you put it in, it tries to load up. Anyways, so what I was going to say though, I hope that while they're developing this, they have like a separate team or something where they develop a native Xbox Series X and S version for Forza to really, because I want you guys to be able to really, because Forza is their flagship, one of the flagship titles, is always been known for their graphics and their fidelity and their detail, and I want to see how far they could go with that with the new consoles. So I hope they're developing a native version along with the last gen version, so you guys can really, really see what that system can do. Because I honestly feel like, I mean, we both understood why they went that stance, but now that we're almost 3 years in, they're gonna have to let Xbox One go. They're gonna have to let it go.
I mean, I think in this generation, there's more similarities in the way you build games, so it's easier to upscale it with like less of a drop off. Like I think there's a stark difference between like PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 or 360 and Xbox One, and that there is from Xbox One to Series X, because it's like, from what I understand, it's just all about like kind of like, to do a layman's term, like unlocking something. So they can build it the same. It's just in the Series X you can unlock ray tracing, and the ray tracing makes it a lot better. You can, it'll be 4K, and it was made in 4K, but then downscaled to work on the Xbox One. So like, I don't think that there's necessarily as much lost potential is what I'm trying to say.
Well, neither of us really know the technical aspects of all that, so I'm not going to talk at it. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
But I get what you're saying. I want my series, because like we talked in the past, I don't think I played a game that's like, this is only on Series X, other than
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
And speaking of because of the scale, like.
And speaking of Flight Simulator, it's getting an update. So just want to let you know that it's gonna they're including all different types of planes. So it's not just like regular planes now. Now you got like the old, what the brothers who invented the planes, Wayne
Wright
brothers,
brothers.
Wright brothers. I knew it was over with a W. I just forgot the name. Like planes like that, like all types of weird planes you can fly now. I think there's new locations you can fly around. I don't know if it's a free update or not, but it is an update that's coming for the game. But what is free though, and it's available right now, if you want it, you can download one of the Halo ships and fly that around if you want it.
That's awesome. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
To fly like a wraith around like Seattle, like around the Space Needle. And
some ridiculous alien ship you could just fly around and not get destroyed by government missiles. That's a UFO right there. So yeah. I thought I was thinking of you when they announced that. I was like, oh, they might like that. Maybe have some fun. Apparently, also, I didn't know this, and I don't think a lot of people knew this. Flight Simulator is Microsoft's oldest running IP.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Wait, when did you know that? When did you find out?
It was talked a lot about when Flight Sim was coming out. So I heard it then.
Okay. Apparently it's 40 years this year. 40 years.
Yep.
Damn, son, like that like rivals Mario. Like shit, I had no idea. And it's like, so what have y'all been doing with it, Microsoft, before this game? It's just like I feel like that's like a cop out.
Iterations. They've been coming out with iterations.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's just only been on PC, and it's on PC, so we don't care about it. And not only is it on PC, but it's also super niche on PC. So they've had a lot of iterations.
I still would have thought that I would have at least seen like a headline or something for it. I just don't remember seeing anything. But anyways, so that was shown off. And then they debuted, or not debuted, but they showed off Overwatch 2, which I know that's not, it might be an exclusive. Who knows? We'll see what happens with the Activision thing. But they showed that off. Also, speaking of graphics, I got to say something. Overwatch 2 doesn't look any better than Overwatch 1. It looks,
and you're not going on that shell shaded stuff. You're just not going.
Is it cell shaded?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not like realistic, but I didn't think it looked cell shaded.
It's shell. Yeah.
Is it? It's a variation of cell. Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't look like Borderlands though.
No, it's a lot prettier, but it is cell shaded.
It doesn't. Well, even with Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina's, even though those.
Here, but.
Even those look different. Even those look prettier. Yes, Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina look prettier too, but I still can tell that they're cell shaded. But unless this is a variation of cell shading that I'm not familiar with, because usually when I see a cell shaded game, I can immediately tell, like, oh yeah, that's cell shaded, like right off the bat. But I didn't get that sense with that. I just thought they were, just like they're animated art direction. But either way, whatever. I mean, if it is cell shading, then okay, I understand, because you can only go so far with cell shading, and that's a known thing. But if it's not, then I don't know. I mean, I know it's like a multiplayer MOBA thing, and graphics aren't the top tier what you're looking for. But I mean, I was expecting at least a little bit of improvement, at least a little bit. And it looks literally the exact same thing. So I don't know. I mean, they didn't really show too much off. Like as far as, I mean, at least I didn't see it. Like, I don't know. I never played Overwatch. Not my thing. I didn't really see what was so new and great about it. It just seems like they might be just doing a sequel because the old one is getting really old now. I don't know. Just for the, keeping it alive. There are new heroes. They showed off one particular who's Australian. Some Australian, like she looks like an Australian Dom. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like some fucking dominatrix lady who I'm sure many simps will be coming running after. But other than that, I didn't really see anything too crazy with that. But I know a lot of people are gonna be happy just to get some more, I guess, fresh Overwatch action. Next thing is ARA History Untold had a debut, and it's some dinosaur game. And I thought it was like Ark Survival, the dinosaur MOBA, or is it a MOBA? Not some dinosaur survival game that was on Xbox, and I think then it went to other consoles. But it's called ARA, and I don't know if it's tied to Ark in any way. I don't know. They're both dinosaur games. I have no idea. But yeah. And then also around this point into the presentation, I was watching it straight from, I think Microsoft was actually putting this one out on the stream. They had a so for those who are blind, they have a narrator who talks every so often about like, they say like what's on screen, and then they'll announce the game, and then they'll say a date, whatever. But for some reason, that narrator, I don't know what they did, but it came into the regular presentation. It just came in, and like people were like, "What the fuck's going on with his voice?" Like I didn't even know, like, what's this voice? That it was just like it was just saying things like ARA history untold comes out June 27th. And like, it was like we were like the Chelsea in the chat after, and they were like, "What is going on?
I wonder if there was
what
like
is happening?"
a one that was supposed to be only for like blind people, and then
I
somehow
I think it's bled through. I don't know what happened, but it was like I was like, "What the hell?" And then I was trying to go my settings, like, is there anything I could do in settings? Like, nothing I could do. And then people in the chat were like, "It's for blind people," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I get it. But they messed something up, because I imagine people who are blind, there's something you can do to make sure you watch it.
Yeah.
You can still watch it, but like I don't know what happened. So I actually had I went and watched from another provider or channel, because I was like, this. It was like you have all this other shit, and you have this dude who's just talking every so often, and I was like,
yeah.
what is happening? So, anyways,
it's rough. Yeah,
that was something I mentioned. ESO got mentioned. Elder Scrolls Online. The new expansion, because they will never stop making expansions for that fucking game. This one is on High Isles, which apparently they've never explored that area of was it Mord? What's Tamriel? Is that the main continent where everything's in?
Tamriel, yeah.
Is okay. So I guess within Tamriel, I guess is the first time they've explored this area, High Isles, whatever that means. Fallout or Elder Scrolls nerds, let me know in the comments, because I have no idea what the hell is going on. Do you know about High Isles by any chance? I mean, no. All right,
I've
cool.
heard
You don't
it.
know either.
I've heard it. I'm pretty sure, but
And then they went from one live service game to another, and that means Fallout 76. And the game where everyone is still just blown away of just why are they still supporting it? But they have a new
stop
expansion.
making that and do the remake.
I feel like we're gonna get one of these plugs in every week somehow, some way.
I'm doing my duty. Okay,
he's doing the Lord's work over here. All right. But there's a new expansion for that game, and it's on the Pit, which I don't know if that was in 4, but last time I heard about the Pit was in 3.
It was 3. I don't remember it in 4 at all.
There was a DLC on the Pit in that. Was that the swamp area? Like the swampish
It was
area?
the steel mill.
Steel mill. Nope, not coming to me. What was the swamp area then? Are you sure that wasn't the same place?
No, it was not. I don't know about the
because you start like one of those
in 4.
No, you start one of those expansions in some kind of like a swampy-ish
yeah
area.
That one, that was a bullshit area. That was in New Vegas.
New Vegas. Oh,
it was New Vegas, and I can't remember it, but it would suck because all of the fucking enemies were like programmed to be like 5 levels above you, and it was bullshit. I fucking hated that DLC.
I hated them all because my system couldn't run it. But as another story,
I played that fucking end game. So I was end game, and I played it, and I was getting one shot by fucking hillbilly motherfuckers with shotguns. I was so mad. You couldn't go anywhere in that game without getting one shot.
Was there any? I mean, I'm sure people figured out some way to get out of it. I mean, was there anything anyone could do, or anyone that figured out what to do?
I just ran through the main quest with stim packs, just fucking, and there wasn't a lot of stim packs either. So it was a mess. It was a mess. I hated it. It.
All right. Well,
worst DLC ever.
Well, they showed that off. And then they went to more DLC, and Forza Horizon 5 is getting the Hot Wheels. I think it was already announced that they might, or rumored. But yeah, they're getting it. They showed it off. It's official.
It's the best. It's probably one of the best DLCs ever. Like,
people love the Hot Wheels DLC. Yeah. Oh wait, the ARA game is different because there was a new ARC game shown. I'm sorry, I forget what ARA Untold was then. Maybe it was, I don't remember. Whatever. Sorry guys. New ARC game shown. Yay. And then they showed a new game called Scorn. And the thing I took away from that was it looks like a third-person hack and slash, maybe a Souls-like, don't know yet, but it has a very interesting art style. It's what was it? Scorn. It's like it reminded me of a mix of like Alice in Wonderland mixed with like some kind of macabre setting kind of feel. Like it kind of, like, and by Alice I mean like Alice in Wonderland the game from 2010, like that style. It reminded me something like that. Yeah, it looks like a very dark fantasy style thing, but you play as like some normal kid. It looks like he didn't look like something weird or anything, but it looks interesting. But I don't think they showed off enough of it. But it looks like a brand new game. Don't know if it's exclusive. Who knows? But that was shown off, and then they will show off another new game called Flintlock: Siege of Dawn. And that game actually does look like a Souls-like. They showed off actual gameplay of it that I saw, and you play as a black woman, which is cool. Not so now we have another one that's not that one by Square Enix, which I don't remember the name of, and I don't really understand the setting that this game is set in. But you have like these powers of some kind, and it kind of more focuses more on your powers rather than like weapons per se, combat wise. And you have like this little creature that you can do shit with. Looks interesting. Well, I want to see more of it, but it does look kind of interesting. And then they went into Minecraft Legends. And it was kind of funny. It's kind of funny with that one because they started off like the whole thing of like taking like a brand new game from the creators of Minecraft, and then it's
Minecraft.
It's just a Minecraft RTS edition, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I thought I was expecting like a brand new thing, like not block style, like a whole new direction, and I was like, oh, so it's just another Minecraft game. Just now,
I'm sorry,
RTS.
RJ. Is Minecraft done making money? Then why the fuck would Mojang be doing anything but making more Minecraft shit?
Do they need to make more Minecraft shit? That game is like that game is making money on its own. They don't need to do anything.
RJ, more money.
They don't need to do anything. That game will always be making money. That game will never not make money.
Guess what will also make money? Another fucking Minecraft game.
But they have to spend money to do it. So why? Anyways, I'm not beyond that, like kind of like a little bait and switch that I feel like I was pulled under. I'm not mad about it because Minecraft, I'm an advocate for Minecraft. Not as far as like the people flooding YouTube with content for it. That's really, in my opinion, boring. But I like the game as a concept because I mean I'm always about games being advocate. You know, I'm advocate for games helping kids out and in really positive ways. And the game has been shown to help kids with developments and stuff. Is using classrooms for a reason. And if this game can help introduce kids to like RTS type of style games, I'm for it. I mean, I don't like RTSs, but like RTS games are this fucking virtual chess. I mean, there is virtual chess, but you know what I mean. Like it just helps kids think about.
Give Mojang another idea.
Oh gosh,
Minecraft a new game from the creators of Minecraft.
Minecraft chess edition.
And like you can build blocks up to like for different attacks.
No, like you first have to build the pieces, and then you can use the pieces to then move your spaces. Bro, Mojang, that one's for free. Anyways, yeah, so I'm all for it. I hope kids play it. I hope they start to challenge their brains in more ways than just building shit. But yeah, so that was shown, and then they went to a new game called Lightyear Frontier. I think they only named it that because it kind of rhymes. Brand new game. Looks like a survival sim of sorts, but looks like you might be able to do cooperative play. It's kind of like the Outer Wilds type of situation, or like Kerbal Space Program, or I think there's a couple other ones they're just kind of escaping me. But yeah, I mean, it looks like more of a niche title thing. It'd probably be a digital only game, I'd imagine, but that was shown. And then they showed up a new game called Gunfire Reborn, which looks like basically a hero shooter. But apparently, I think I saw in the trailer, I think I saw them say there's roguelite elements. I think I saw that, but I'm not sure. But it looks like a hero shooter though. Next, which I want to talk about, is a game called Last Case of Benedict Fox, and that game looks very interesting.
2D platformer kind of thing.
Because I'm not a 2D guy, never have been. I'm just not my thing. I rather just see a whole person or no person. Like I don't need the 2D perspective. It's not my shit. But this game, I don't know what it is about this game, but I saw the trailer. I was like, I would play this because it's like
Jake Baldino from Gamer Ranks. That's what he was excited for.
Is that his name? Okay, yeah, I know Game Ranks. I like that whole crew. They're pretty cool. Yeah. I like Falcon the most though, but Well, because he'll just talk about like the way he just goes over narration is just hilarious. Sometimes I feel like he's like high half the time, but yeah, I like that game. I like the look like that game. I would play it if it's not an Xbox exclusive. I will play it.
It's gonna be on Game Pass, so I'll
Well,
play
everything's
it.
good. All of these are on the fucking Game Pass,
I
bro.
know. By the way, I haven't said this in a long time, but Game Pass, man, it's fucking awesome.
Anyways, it's like a 2.5 more D because the dude looks like he's like a full figure. He's not just like one half of him. But like the combat looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the combat seems more akin as if it was in a third person kind of style, but in a 2D plane. And it has like a Lovecraftian type of theme. At least that's what I'm calling it for now. And I haven't really seen that style in a 2D game too often. Not saying that not saying that it hasn't been done. I haven't seen it before, and so I just love I like what they're trying to do to mix things up. It looks very fresh. It looks very very different as far as like other 2D style games that we've seen. Because yes, it is a platformer, but it looks more than that, and that's what makes me really excited for it. So really pumped to see that game, see more of that. And then they went to another game that I'm a bit interested in called As Dusk Falls. And this is one of the points where they actually stopped like showing stuff and had one of the people talk about it. I don't know why they did it for this game, but but it's a narrative driven game. You know, not like in the sense of like the dark anthology style, but more like what's that one, that Xbox exclusive one? With the twins, and one of them is a transgender. Oh shit, what is it called? You people know what I'm talking about. Um, but it looks more akin to that style. But what threw me off was that where I was expecting everything to be, you know, animated or motion captured or whatever, it seems to be done in like comic panel styles type of things. Like they kind of move, but they don't move. I can't really explain. You would have to watch it to see what I'm talking about. But the narrative looks cool. It sounds nice. Like the plot seems interesting. But if that is literally the whole, like it just kind of takes place in these kind of weird motion, like stop go comic panel style things, I might be thrown off a little bit by that, because I would be expecting more of a, you know, everyone being animated and moving and talking and shit. I can see it because I feel like that's a little more engrossing, because otherwise it kind of plays out like a visual novel, and that's not what I was hoping for. But anyways, that kind of caught my my eye. And then another one that I was interested in was that a game called Nautica Blade Point. And this is kind of where they started shifting over to Japanese stuff. So Nautica Blade Point was originally a PC only thing, and I was interested in it because I saw it on IGN a while ago, and I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting. Like it's more of a you know, I mean, it's a I think it's a battle royale, but it's more melee focused, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. And now it's on Xbox. It's coming to Xbox, and it's not only that, but it's getting a campaign mode. So I don't know if that's going to be a single player exclusive thing, or if that's also somehow going to have like multiplayer integrated into it or not. But that sounds pretty dope. I do like the idea of the campaign mode, because it looked like a fun game. I saw gameplay of it, and it looked really dope. It kind of reminded me of like, you know, like the flashiness of like a Team Ninja game or something, but in a battle royale setting. So hope that's
Team
going to be
Ninja's
great.
gonna be on the list here coming up.
Oh, they're coming. Oh, they're coming. And then they showed a new game called Pentament, and they showed two games back to back from Obsidian, the guys, you know, who did New Vegas and Outer
Who
Worlds.
should be working on
And
a fucking remake of Fallout, but you know, whatever, fuck it. What are these disappointing fucking games?
Instead of that, they're doing two games that kind of seem more like indie style, very experimental, which is kind of, remember we talked about a while ago about what Game Pass allowed some people to do.
allowing people to do experimental
Obsidian mentioned that it allows them to be able to take more risks with other things. And this is we got to see it, and so
take a risk and do something that no one's ever done, and fucking remake a super popular game, guys. Fucking make the jump.
I feel if we ever get one or both of those games remade, reported, whatever, we're gonna have to. I feel like we're gonna dedicate an entire podcast to David just fanboying over that, just for an hour. Just that's all it's going to be. Is just David.
I'll start a vlog of me playing it. Like, it won't even be like a video capture of the gameplay. It'll just be the camera focused on like behind me of me playing the game, or a face cam so you can capture just the tears that streamed at my face.
The happy tears.
Yeah, as I'm playing the game, which is so beautiful. Look at that fucking robot cowboy in fucking 4K.
I missed you.
Yes,
I missed
man.
you, old friend. Anyway, so the Charlotte first game was called Pentament. I don't really know what to feel about it. It feels super indie, which is so weird coming from Obsidian. It's like a 2D style adventure game of sorts, but there is some combat involved with it. It takes place in some kind of high fantasy realm of some kind. I don't know. It feels like I don't know why Obsidian is the one making this, because I feel like any indie dev could and probably has already made a game like this, but I don't know. I mean, maybe because they're Obsidian, maybe they can do something that's different in the style game. I don't know, but that was the first one shown, and then they showed, and then the next one was this was a game called Grounded, which I think is like an online multiplayer style thing or whatever. And I know about it because someone on the Discord, shout out to you, Infinite Phoenix, if you're watching this and if you get this far, because he's been putting videos on it all the time in the discourse, which I see. And so I knew, that's how I knew about the game, but I had no idea it was made from Obsidian. No idea. And it is. And they announced it because it's getting out of game preview, which I did not know it was in game preview. So I did not know you were playing a game that like was basically in like the, whatever, like the demo version or beta version, but it's now getting a full release. So I'm sure Infinite Phoenix is going to have the time of his life playing that, because he gets to play the whole thing. Grounded. And you play it, so it's like
I played it. Yeah. It's really
you played
good.
it. You've already you played it.
Taking cookies or something, so sometimes I can't hear. But yeah, no, I played it. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so you played it. Okay, yeah, it's like like a bunch of kids in a backyard.
It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
But you have to make a base and
yeah,
all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so you know about it too. Okay, yeah. Well, the full game's getting released. I didn't know it was a game preview. But yeah, so you, Infinite Phoenix, hit David up. You guys can play together. Anyway, so that was shown, and then let's see here. What's next? Okay, so this new game was kind of shown, but like very little was shown about it. Called Arabin Shadow Legacy. I didn't write anything about it. I don't even remember what it was. But yeah, that was shown. And then they went into Diablo 4. And they spent 1,000 years going over Diablo 4.
Why wouldn't you? It's your game now.
Which, I mean, I never got into Diablo. And I feel like I think I made the right choice not getting into Diablo. But 4's coming. I think it's coming. What was the date? They gave a date. I don't remember what it was. But it's not too long from now. But they announced a new class, Necromancer. That's the last new class of the game. It's gonna be open world apparently this time.
Necromancer is my favorite class. So.
Oh, you played Diablo. Oh, you were a Diablo
player. I played the shit out of Diablo 3. That's the only one I played.
Okay.
I played the shit out of Diablo.
Okay. What was coming? It's gonna have they said 150 dungeons or something shit like that. I was like, what are you, Elden Ring?
Open world.
That's why I said open world. It's gonna be open world.
Yeah.
Which is new, I think, for that franchise. But it still has that top down.
It's more
view.
like hub based.
It still has that top down view, which is interesting. But it doesn't seem as far away from your characters. You seem to be a little bit closer in. Which I don't know. It seems interesting. It definitely looks like they are putting in a lot of content to this game. I just hope that it's not just fluff or just bloat. I hope it's like it's content people will actually value. But
here's the thing: if as long as they continue to do what they've done with every other mainline Diablo game, then no, it's not going to be fluff. Like Diablo 3, even though it wasn't overworld, had a shit ton of content.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, there was a little road bump with the online auction house and the drop rates on the early game before the first patch. But no, I am fully on board, and I think they're gonna do justice by it.
I'm not saying like I'm mad about it. yeah, trust me, like I'm not hating on Diablo 4 by any means. I just hope that that just because Diablo's been coming under a lot of shit lately, because especially with Diablo Immortal and how long we've been waiting for Diablo 4. So I just hope it comes out banging, just right away, just it kills it, and everyone. I want it to be the same thing as Diablo 3 was back in 2012 or what year that was, because I remember the hype. Like you couldn't go nowhere without hearing about Diablo 3 hype. Like even if you don't play it, like me, I didn't own a PC, none of that shit. Like, but I knew you couldn't escape it. Like the meme I saw was like the Diablo 3 game covered. It was like, girlfriends, I'm here to take away your boyfriends. Like that's what that game was. So I hope it's the same thing with Diablo 4. Anyway, so after Diablo 4, they did Sea of Thieves, which that was actually kind of funny because they did a trailer for the new update, but it got hella meta because like they talked about the update, but everyone was like, it was in asset, like in engine, like singing about the update and
That's
stuff.
pretty cool.
Which I was like, that sounds
Rare is funny.
that sounds about on key. Yeah, that's what I expect. But you could be a captain now. I didn't know you couldn't be one before, but you can be a captain now.
I thought I was already a captain.
Nope, you're not a captain. You were a piece of shit. That's what you were. You were scrubbing the decks like a landlubber. But now you could be an actual captain. You can customize your ship like crazy and all that stuff, and have fun being a captain. Still always get surprised that they're supporting that game as long as they have been. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's kind of like Sea of Thieves, No Man's Sky. These games that like dropped early and were shit, and now they're apparently really good games. It's just like people like me. I'm just never gonna go back to them, even though they're supposed to be really really good games now. I just whatever.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting towards the end here. They went to another game called Ravenlock, which looks like a third-person action game of some kind. We'll have to wait to see more. They didn't show too much off about it, but it looked kind of interesting. And then they went into a new game from the guy who made Inside and Limbo, and it's called Cocoon. And at first, I was like, oh, this is a very different direction. Like, first of all, it's top down. You play as some little bug. It looks, at first I was like, oh, it looks more cheerful and like happy, like colors are everywhere. You move around balls and shit. But then at the end of the trailers, I was like, oh, there it is. There is the macabre. And then when they called the game Cocoon, I was like, oh, that's got to mean something. That's got to, ugh. Because that has like a nasty, like kind of connotation with it, and I was like, oh, there's something deeper with this game for sure. I'm not gonna play it, but maybe you will, David. But yeah,
probably not.
But yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. That dude, I mean, he's only made a couple games, but the games that he's made have been well regarded, some of the best indie stuff around for years. So I'm sure it'll be another good one from him. And then we get Japanese for a while. And first thing first, Wo Long Fallen Dynasty was debuted. And I'm actually really pumped for that. And if it is an Xbox exclusive, I'm going to be real. No, it's not. Actually, it was already confirmed it's not an Xbox exclusive.
Okay. Gamer Ranks was like, they all thought it was going to be Neo 3.
Yeah. But then I saw some of the stuff from Dynasty Wars, and I was like, oh, that's not Neo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped because like I think, doesn't Dynasty Wars take place in, is it China? Is it more Chinese? China, right? China's history. Yeah. That's like the only time I've ever seen Chinese history in games is with Dynasty Warriors. And I'm not saying those are bad. I mean, it's just you have to be into the style of games. But like this looks like a more visceral, more personal like experience with that setting that we haven't had before.
If it's gonna be like a Neo-like game,
oh, I cannot wait. Yes,
it'll be dope.
Because it's made by the guys. Some of the guys, it's like a mix of guys who made Neo and Bloodborne, so it's gonna be fast paced. It's not gonna be a slow moving Souls game. It's gonna be more like a Neo like. Maybe that'll be a subgenre of a subgenre. Neo like a Neo like. Oh, I can't. I hope so. If it does, you heard it here first, people.
A Neoborn.
Yeah, Neoborn. There we go. Oh, dude, you know, people are going to start calling it that. You know it's going to happen. So yeah, I'm really excited for that game. The trailer looks dope as hell. I just cannot wait for some more footage. It makes me also think of that one game coming up by that one dev where you play as the monkey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also set in a Chinese setting as well.
Yes.
And so yeah, I hope we get more of that. And I think even this wasn't announced at the showcase, but this game called Bright Memory Infinite or Bright Infinite Memory, something like that. It's like a first-person shooter slash melee because you have a gun, but you also have a sword.
Oh yeah.
And I think that takes place in a Chinese setting as well. I could be wrong.
I mean, it was made
Don't
by
quote
one
me.
Chinese developer, so
They
there's probably a lot of
probably then, yeah,
like
probably a
Chinese
Chinese setting. But that game looked interesting. I saw someone play it from the Discord, and I was like, this game looks fucking dope. It looks amazing. But I looked online, it was like PC only, and I was like, but then, but it is good. It is getting a console version, and I will be picking that up for sure. It looks dope. Anyways, and then the big one, for some people it's the big one. For me, I think it's the big one. Big thing. I forgot. I wanted to say this at the start, but I forgot. Y'all are getting Persona. God damn! You guys are getting Persona after like 1,500 years. You guys are getting Persona. Specifically,
starts with 5.
Well, yeah. So you guys are getting Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal. And yes, you will get Persona 5 first. They didn't give dates for 3 and 4. But you guys are getting the best versions of each of those games. I'm assuming the portable version for 3 is the most enhanced one. I don't know, but I know Golden is, and I know Royal is for 5.
So for me, the interesting thing with the Persona games is that's one of the games that one of the only games that like Serena liked watching me play. Probably because it has some,
it's an anime.
It's very anime-ish.
It's an anime
kind of thing, but she very much enjoyed it and was not happy when I stopped playing it. But
you didn't beat
it.
The Xbox. You didn't. Yeah, you didn't beat it. Yeah,
and I don't beat a lot of games. But yeah, so I'll be playing all those. Maybe she'll watch me again playing those. So
have you been a long-time Persona fan, or just you only played 5?
Just 5.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Awesome.
What I'm wondering now
I want the fucking Shin Megami games now. Fucking give me Shin Megami Tensei games now.
SMT, yeah. I think 3 got remastered, but I don't know if it was on Xbox. Hey, I'm sure it'll come, man. I mean, if anything, Phil Spencer has been doing, it has been trying to get Xbox's influence into the Japanese market more and more.
Sure.
He's making headway slowly but surely. He's getting there. But yeah, I'm really excited though is that if for 3 and 4 particularly, I'm wondering if they're just gonna be ports. And if they are just ports, I'm going to be curious to see if you guys get an achievement list. Because if you do, it's only a matter of time before PlayStation gets theirs. Because we have never gotten a Persona 4 console version of Golden. And we were just like, I don't get it. Why? Like, PlayStation fans have been wondering forever. Like, you put it on the Vita. How did you not just port it to the PlayStation 4? Like, I don't get it. Like, why do you guys port it to a dead console instead of porting it to the flagship console? And they never did it. And then it's like the console debut for Golden is on Xbox? Are you kidding me? Like, unless the Switch has it. Unless I don't know if the Switch got it, but
I haven't seen those.
It's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? At least Persona 3 was on PlayStation 2, I think, first. And then
Sony.
And then I got a portable version on PSP. But it's just like that's what blew me away. Persona 4 Golden hitting consoles first on Xbox is insane. Who would have ever predicted that? No one would have predicted that. So
I didn't think so. When I heard, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
You would have thought it would have come to PlayStation first, and then maybe Xbox would get a version of it later. But no, Xbox is getting it first, and I cannot believe it. Like so. It's only a matter of time before PlayStation gets their version of it. There's no way they won't.
I would laugh if they never do.
Dude, if they, I mean, it's not gonna matter to me, but Persona fans are gonna lose their shit if it never happens. But so yeah, it's that was like, in my opinion, I think that was the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing. Even if you're not a JRPG fan, even if you're not a Persona fan, like, and I've never played any of them myself, but just I understand the brevity of that happening, and so it's a big day.
Well, and it also opens the doors for like. Are we gonna get Shin Megami Tensei? Are we gonna get the fucking World War II ones that I can't remember the name of right now?
Valkyrie, Valkyrie Chronicles.
Valkyrie Chronicles. Are we gonna get all that stuff? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what comes next.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing. But that's That happened, and all I wrote was Xbox gets Persona and like 4 exclamation marks. After that, that's all I wrote. That's all I wrote for it. And then they coupled that with Hideo Kojima is making a game for Xbox. We don't know if it's an exclusive. I'm imagining it will be, but who knows?
Yeah,
Kojima being Kojima.
Game, he's been talking about this game for a long time too.
Has he?
Before he was talking about this game like as that one game was launching.
Left Alive?
His last game.
Oh, Death Stranding.
No, Death Stranding. As Death Stranding was launching, he was like, I'm working with Xbox. I'm going to make this game that uses the cloud, and it's going to use the cloud a lot, and I can't wait to use the cloud. And he was just all about the cloud.
I like the cloud. I like the cloud. I like the cloud.
He's going to do something with the cloud. Like
I hope half the achievements have some kind of cloud reference in them.
It's just a game about clouds. Like Kojima, just didn't understand at all. He's just like, clouds. You want me to make a game about clouds? Fuck yeah, I'll do that. It has no cloud technology. It's just about clouds.
And watch it still be game of the fucking year because it's him. So yeah, I mean,
I've never cried so much in my life.
He was very vague about it. Kojima fashion. He said basically nothing about it, and we just said that he'd been doing it. He was on the he actually did present it himself, and so at least the announcement himself. So all right, I don't know what's gonna happen. He did mention the cloud. I will say that he mentioned the cloud. I'm just wondering if it'll be an exclusive or not, and if it is, okay, whatever. I'm just okay. So they said every game shown was going to be available within a year or 15 months or so. I think that's going to be the only game that did not abide by that rule, because there's no way. There is no way this game is coming out. Whatever he's making is coming out within a year, or even by the end of next year.
Literally, I could see they had this whole thing planned, and then Kojima just shows up and is like, so I'm going to talk about my game now?
No, like Kojima, Kojima's on. Kojima's not like, well, when's it gonna be ready?
Kojima, no, don't go out. Don't go talk about my game now.
No. Hey, I got to talk about the cloud. I like the cloud. they need to know. So yeah, so he brought that up. All right, cool. Kojima just being Kojima. And then lastly, Starfield was shown off. And actually shown off. And I know we said earlier that we don't really care about having these gameplay things and extended talks. Starfield is one of those exceptions. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially, I mean, even for me who doesn't really care that much, I absolutely that should be shown off. So I didn't pay too much attention to it because again, I don't really care. But it does look like Fallout in space, but just more robust, a very robust version of Fallout in space.
So they have. So first, since I do care about it, I'll talk about it.
How about you can go in length about Starfield.
So the kind of sucky thing is that they're still fucking using the same engine.
Are they? No.
It's updated. It's updated.
That's what they did with Fallout 4. They just updated it.
They're basically building on a rotting corpse.
Oh my gosh!
But it does look like a very shiny rotting corpse.
That's why it doesn't look that good. I was wondering. I was like, this game looks fine, but it doesn't look what I was expecting.
Yeah, it looks pretty good as far as a Bethesda game goes.
So it's the best Bethesda game.
It's gonna be that. It's also gonna be the gunplay, although it looks fine, is definitely Fallout 4 gunplay, which isn't great gunplay. I mean, it's good gunplay.
Was Fallout ever good gunplay?
4 was decent. 4 was good enough.
I mean, yeah, they've never been spectacular. They've just been fine.
No. But the world building and stuff looks really good. And of course, that's what Bethesda's in the past has been known for.
Yep.
Before 76.
76.
So all of that looks really good. The base building is back, but better. So what they showed was not base building in the first person view where you're fucking having to walk around in first person and put shit down. It's a top down.
Yeah, how it should be. Yeah, you can move things real fast on a grid kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And ship building.
Oh yeah, you can fly ships.
You can build your own ship
and fly a ship.
and then fly in and have space battles, which is dope.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for it. I'm not nearly excited as if it was a remake. If it was the remakes I want, but I am still excited. It still looks really dope. I'm definitely gonna get it. I'm definitely gonna build my own ship, and I hope you can name it. Like that'd be dope.
What would you name it? Tell me. And please do not. Okay, good. I thought you were gonna say the ship from One Piece. I was gonna be like, really, you're gonna name it that?
Sunny?
Whatever. No, don't you fucking
Spacey mixed space face.
That's what I want. I want Spacey mixed space face. That's what I want. Okay, so here's the thing. So about the ship building, you brought up something I did remember that I caught, which is exactly what I expect from like a next gen, current, whatever. I guess it's not now current gen, but like from the latest systems, right? They said, or good old Todd Howard said, that there was going to be like 100 or some crazy stupid amount of solar systems in this game. So I was thinking like, reminds me of Mass Effect, but you could actually go to all the planets instead of like only a couple here and there, and then mine the rest. You can actually go to all of these planets and explore all of them. Yeah, and my thought, my thought was, can the old Xbox Ones handle that?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it goes back to my thing we said earlier about next gen consoles. You got to eventually can they do that? And if they do, what's it going to look like on those systems?
It depends on like how, like what the detail of it is and stuff like that. Because I mean, No Man's Sky had technically a lot more, solar systems than that. So
that's a good point.
And that's really point. Like what I kind of like when they were talking about it. I was like, oh, so this is like if No Man's Sky was done by like a big
studio
developer.
Yeah,
a big studio, so that it'll be interesting. I'm pumped for it. I hope there's I want a really good storyline. All the customization stuff is sick. Obviously I would have liked better graphics and a new engine, but whatever, we're never going to get that. I'm going to be playing it.
I cannot believe it. I didn't see that. I didn't catch that. Was that mentioned after the fact? I didn't see that.
No, it's been mentioned since they started development. Okay. So when they started development, they were like, yes, we're still using whatever.
Why am I just hearing about that now? I cannot believe they're still using the same damn engine. I mean, okay, I know sometimes a lot of developers have their own engine. Yes, I get that. Like Insomniac has their own engine, Resident Evil has their own engine, but like for those people, it's been like they're obviously have been cranking that with iterations, right? Because when they put out new games, they look better than the ones that came before. So they've been like for instance, Ratchet & Clank's a good example. Like I think they're using the same engine, or they did use that same engine for a long time throughout that franchise. But when you compare, like for instance, the PS2 games, the PS3 games, the PS3 to the PS4 reboot, you could tell they did some shit. They cranked that engine out to make it, to really make it look really good for that system. Resident Evil's a good one. Like that RE engine is amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like it's like Fallout. Like guys, your engine was never even that good back on the PS3 360. It was never that good even then, and so it's like you guys are so fucking lucky you made Fallout 3 New Vegas. Like they're so damn lucky that they made that. They're so lucky that they made Skyrim. They're so lucky that they made that. They are so no one else could get away with this. No one else could get away with this bullshit. But they can, because they made those 3 particular games, and it's like older Sims have been absolved. And even with 76, it's like you think about 76 to be mad, but they'd be like, well, Skyrim, and then you'll be happy again.
And here's the thing: the reason why 76 had all of those issues is because they used the same engine,
and it couldn't run all that shit. Yeah,
they used a first person RPG engine for an MMO, and it was never designed to be used for that, so it just didn't work.
Like the same qualms with FIFA and Madden, in your opinion, because it's using the Battlefield engine, right?
Yeah, the fucking Frostbite engine. They're using a first-person shooter engine for
sports games.
Yeah,
and it's like that's not how that's supposed to. Yeah, so it's following the same problem. And God, I cannot believe this. But
I'm still excited. It looks cool.
I'm sure. Excited. I mean, people are going to forget about it as soon as I start playing it. They won't care. yeah, I just go back because I'm gonna be watching it as an observer since I'm not playing it, and I'm just gonna be. I will not be surprised, and no one should be surprised if like we get the early reviews if they do allow early reviews if there's no embargo, and we see the reviewers saying like do not play this on an Xbox One. It will not like
oh,
it
yeah,
will
yeah,
the
yeah, or that,
performance is shit on it, or like there's just stupid long load times to load everything up, like or going between solar systems or planets or something. Like don't be surprised if that doesn't happen. Then kudos to them. Kudos to Bethesda for pulling that off. To make it work on those older consoles. But that's just my biggest worry. When you have something that seems to be this massive in scale, I just worry because, like, I mean, I know it's not like the Xbox One isn't powerful, but just like what we're seeing with the SSDs, it's not even close to what you can do on those that you can't, like when Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart came out, and they, we're seeing like we use the SSD to where you can use the Rift tether thing to literally go in between sections of the world on a dime. I wholeheartedly believe you could not do that on the PS4, even the PS4 Pro. That's my opinion. I wholeheartedly believe that they could not do something like that on the PS4. And so likewise, it's just when you want to have all of this fluidity with all these old systems, be able to travel between all of them on a dime and just explore. Like when you want to go to a new planet, that just goes up immediately, or you can maybe just fly right to it and it loads up automatically as you're flying into the atmosphere. Like I just worry for the Xbox One owners out there who haven't made the jump yet, who couldn't for whatever reason. I just worry that if you guys get that version, it's just not going to live up to the expectations. That's just my biggest worry as an observer,
Yeah, I'll have to see.
And I
It'll be
think
interesting.
and I think that's a
We're getting
valid
to the point
concern.
where things are being pushed enough to where you had those concerns. So we'll have to see.
Yeah,
Let's see what they do.
yeah, I mean, because like the devs are really starting to tap into that SSD to really see what it can do. You know what I mean? And it's so like it's just what I want is for them to show last gen version, because like I remember when Horizon Forbidden West came out, they showed last gen version or footage of it so that people knew what they were getting into,
what they were
right?
looking at, yeah,
and what it would look like on the current, the last gen version. I hope they do that with Starfield, and I hope they do that with many games that are coming out that have a last gen version, because they didn't used to do that back in the day. Like on the last transitional ship, they never showed last gen footage, and so when you played it on last gen, you didn't know what you were getting. So, yeah. So that's just my last thing, and that wrapped up the conference or the showcase. Again, good showcase, really good. The games were varied as hell, all types of things. I was very impressed, even as a non-Xbox person, and people who were Xbox guys. I'm sure you guys were just in heaven. I hope so. A lot of good stuff was shown. I think not as many heavy hitters as I would have thought personally, especially with all these studios that they've been buying. But like I've said many times before, it looks like it is going to take a couple of years before we start seeing the fruits of that labor come in. So maybe next year's showcase they'll have more of these a lot more punches coming in. And so I know Sony just had their state of play like a week or two ago, but I really hope they have something later planned, like in the late summer or the fall, because Xbox came in strong and Sony needs to do cat. Speaking of cats, the Stray game. Shout out to the Stray game. It's coming out. I think it's out now or something, or next week or later this month, whatever. And it stars that kitty cat. Anyways, yeah. So I hope Sony comes out with something, because that state of play they had last, if that's what they're counting as like their summer thing, like kill me, because like that's not even enough to be on their December when they used to do those little state of play things in December. It wasn't even worth that. Okay, so I hope they have something later planned in the late summer or the fall. I think last year they had one in the fall, and that was like a really big one. It was only like 45 minutes, but it was they came in hard with that one. So I hope something similar happens this year, so I can really see what else they have planned. But yeah, that wrapped it up. That's our recap of it. So that you guys don't have to watch it, but if you want to, it's everyone has it on YouTube. You can watch it, hour and a half long. Good stuff. So
just a little bit of saving time with ours.
Yeah, a little bit. Save about 20 minutes. Yeah. So hey man, there's a lot to go over, man. And Persona, I mean, fuck, man. I mean, you. So anyway, that's gonna wrap up this podcast for this week. Hope my freaking website actually records my footage. Last week, it recorded half of my footage for some reason. That's why there's no new podcast last weekend. But yeah, so that's it. Comment below what you guys like the most. David, stop waving your hands. Comment what you like the most. Tell me how excited you are for Persona, because that's the biggest thing. And we'll see you guys next week. So with that,
bye guys.
don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye,
Bye
everybody.
guys.